Hi and welcome to Baking with Bernadette. Today I'm going to be making Spanish flan. I'm using a recipe from allrecipes.com by Asoto. I'm going to have the link below. You're going to need a cup of white sugar, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, a can of sweetened condensed milk, a can of evaporated milk, and Asoto's recipe requires 3 eggs. I'm going to use 6 eggs, as well as 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. You are going to need a 9-inch pan. I'm using a disposable one, and then a bigger pan for the water bath. You can use a blender or a bowl. The blender is going to get rid of those air bubbles, and if you're just using a whisk, there's going to be air bubbles, but the flavor is going to be the same. And then, of course, pot and utensils, which I'll show you in the next part of the video. So let's get started. And to start, I set my oven to 350. And I'm going to boil my water at medium-high heat. So that's going to be an 8 for me because I have an electric stove. And I'm going to do the same for my sugar. I'm going to put it at an 8. And that is 1 cup of sugar. Flat like that. And the sugar can go in a pan like this, a wider pan, or in a pot like this. Just want to make sure you move it around every so often. And while the water is getting hot and the sugar is getting hot, I set up everything in my blender or the bowl, depending on what you're using. The blender, like I said, will get rid of the air sockets. And I put my eggs in. Asoto's recipe is the 3, and I'm going to be using the 6. It all depends on how many eggs you want to have. Some people use 5, some people use 12. And you change the pan depending on how many you put in. But I think the 9-inch can hold the 6, as you'll see. There we go. I'm going to get that eggshell out. That goes directly into the blender. Along with my evaporated milk. And my sweetened condensed milk. Tablespoon of the vanilla extract. I want to make sure the sugar is melting evenly once it gets to that point. 1/4 cup with the heavy whipping cream. And that is all that goes in the blender, so I have that ready for me. And I don't blend it until just before I'm going to put it in. This should get to about 340 to 370. I've used it at either temp and it comes out just fine. So from this point on, it's just waiting for the sugar. I think the whole idea with the sugar is make sure it's all melted, but not, you just don't burn it. You don't want to overcook it. All these hard pieces here are gonna melt down. I've seen a video where a lady just was swirling it the whole time and wasn't using the spatula. But I'm impatient. Nice caramel color. Alright. So once it's melted like that and the water's boiling, put the water in first. Put this pan in, that way the caramel stays nice and liquid and it'll spread. This part is very, very hot. Then while this is like this, then I blend. This part, pour very slowly to not crack the caramel. See, everything fit in there. This gets covered with aluminum foil, create a nice little dome over it. Try to be very careful. Everything is really hot. There we go. And this goes in the oven for an hour at 350. All right, it has been over an hour and a half, and this right here is cooled down. And I'm gonna get a rag for the water. Just want to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And it's cooled down already. So when it's cooling, you leave this on. You just take it out of the oven, put it on top, let it sit and get cool to room temp. Here it goes. And then once it's like this, you just put the plastic wrap on it. Like how I did with this one. Plastic wrap goes on top. And then I put this in the fridge for 8 hours or overnight. And this, once it's out of the fridge overnight, you put it in a pan with hot water from the sink. It doesn't need to be boiling. And that's to get the caramel melted underneath so it can easily come out. So you're going to want to use a spatula to detach it from the pan itself. And the initial part right here is what it's sticking to. Once you can feel when it's lower where the caramel is, it's not stuck to the pan. So I just do this on the whole outside of it to make it easy to come out. You already see the caramel wanting to come up. You probably won't have to do this with your pan, but I need to do this with a disposable one. So it can be nice and flat. I'm going to use my Eeyore plate to flip it. All right, and when you do this, just no hesitation, just flip. Ooh, oh, that caramel. Let me see. Beautiful. And then once you put this back, once you flip it, you put it back in the fridge for about 2 hours or as cold as you'd like it, and it's ready to eat. You can eat it right now, but it just won't be as cold because it's been sitting in the hot water for 20 minutes and outside the fridge and everything. So, but there you go. So this flan has been in the fridge overnight, and I'm going to slice into it. Oof. Try to get the side of it. Beautiful. There's a lot of that caramel. Hi, welcome to Baking with Bernie. Today I'm going to be making Spanish flan. There you go. And you'll see how short I am, right? Today I'm going to be using, I'm just more like practicing where it's at. Hi, welcome to Baking with Bernie. Today I'm going to be making a Spanish flan. And you only need 4 ingredients. Evaporated milk, sugar, milk, sweetened condensed milk. I'll get back to you.